All right, we're back with the Screen Team here on today's Talk 930 KWOC, all brought to you by 33 Productions and also Whitworth Gift Chest Jewelers, where Walmart is next door to them. Jake's DVD pick is called Oblivion. It's a 2013 film which stars Tom Cruise. The film was released back in April and had kind of mixed reviews when it came out and did kind of, actually did pretty well in the box office. Made over $200 million, so not too bad. Do you agree with the general public? Did you like this film, Jake?
I did. I really was very surprised because most of the time Tom Cruise movies just do not do it for me, especially ones in the past 2 decades. So
pretty much almost all of his career.
Everything since Mission Impossible 2. But he's done some stuff that surprised me. But for the most part, I don't go after the Tom Cruise movie. But I went more after this because the director Joseph Kosinski, he did Tron Legacy, which had a lot of mixed reviews too. I actually really liked it because I really liked the first Tron movie, and I thought he actually did a really good job with this movie. It's, as far as sci-fi movies go, it's different, and I'm a sci-fi fan. Of course, I quote Star Wars anytime I'm talking about special effects or anything like that because I nerd out on that kind of thing. But Oblivion, I'm glad I picked it because I'm just like, what movie's coming out on DVD? Oblivion really surprised me. I really enjoyed it, and it's a daytime sci-fi movie.
You don't see that very much.
You don't. You don't see movies that, and a lot of the effects were done. I knew none of this going into the movie, but a lot of the effects I could actually tell from watching the movie. They were done all in camera rather than using CGI later.
Really?
When they're in they're in the tower house, the tower base or wherever. That's actually they have a screen that wraps around three sides of a stage, and that's all one set. And they went up onto top of a volcano and recorded sunrise to sunset in different cloud formations on top of a volcano and just projected it.
That's cool.
And used an actual real background, and that's something I just had to research because they made that look so real and so lifelike, and they did a lot of practical effects. A lot of the floating sphere robots in that movie were actually a practical prop. They were a real prop, and they used different types of camera tricks to get them to move real fast. And of course, they used a lot of computer animation too. But for the most part, I thought it was a really refreshing look at the sci-fi genre as a whole. I watched that movie, and then right after that on HBO, right after I finished it the other night, a movie you really like. Prometheus, that's the one. We were talking about that the other day. That movie came on, and just looking at these two movies kind of came out around the same time, both sci-fi movies. I think Prometheus really overshadowed Oblivion. I'm not sure if they came out within, recurring weeks or whatever. But that movie's so dark as far as just the visuals. It's just very, very dark movie. And equally, they did some amazing things with practical props rather than using CG on everything. But I just like the direction Oblivion went better. It was so to the point. This is not a sci-fi movie that you're just going to be, exposition. There's a 3-minute monologue at the beginning of the movie, let you know everything you need to know going in.
Chelsea? What'd you think of the film, man?
It was okay. I mean, I liked it, but I don't think I liked it enough to watch it again. But some parts, I confused myself, and I just sit there and focus on what was happening, and then I was like, oh yeah, okay,
squirrel.
Oh yeah, definitely not the movie for an ADD kid.
I understand that too, because as little dialogue barely carries the story. It's all mostly visuals carry the story, and there's bits of dialogue here and there that just keep you aware of where you are. I thought the movie did a really good job of, from the perspective of the scenes, knowing where you were in the movie as far as space and time.
So explain to the folks, what is Tom Cruise doing? What is his job, and what's the whole plot of the movie?
He's basically a maintenance guy. He's kind of like a post-apocalyptic janitor.
Yes.
He goes down and he repairs these drones that kind of protect these rigs that float above the oceans and suck up ocean water to create hydrogen for fuel for spaceships. And without spoiling the plot, I can't really explain much more. But then he's got his partner, kind of wifey person, Vika, who hangs up at the base and who is his communications officer with the main base, which is up in space. The TET, they called it. TET, the TET. interesting name for a mother base, but and he's constantly being ambushed by these bandits, which he thinks are aliens, and you come to find out to the rather later in the movie, but I can't explain any more without spoiling it. It's got some crazy plot twist to it. The story really comes in motion when he sees a human.
So, Chelsea, do you agree with Jake with the special effects? Did you think they were pretty cool?
Yeah, I was actually really pleased with the special effects, just like Jake said. But, like at first when I realized it was Tom Cruise, I was like, Chris talked me into watching a Tom Cruise movie.
What's wrong with Tom Cruise,
it's
man?
It's okay. I had to talk myself into it, but this movie, his performance really pleased me.
I thought he did pretty good,
He ran a lot. He always runs a lot.
Yeah.
You ever seen Top Gun? You ever seen Born on the 4th of July?
I've seen Top Gun.
Rent Born on the 4th of July, man. Awesome movie. Tom Cruise does a great job in that film. You ever seen, what else? What else has Tom Cruise done?
Rain Man?
Rain Man, for crying out loud. Wapner? Come on now.
So were you talking all, late 80s, early 90s? Cruise?
Yeah, like you said. He hasn't done anything in like 20 years, so.
Well, another movie he did that comedy with Carmen Diaz, Night and Day. That was actually I really liked that movie as far as his character in that movie was enjoyable.
And another movie that we reviewed on the Screen Team a couple months ago was a movie called Jack Reacher, which we didn't have really high hopes for, and it was really a good movie, so.
It's funny because in Oblivion he plays a character named Jack.
Parker.
Jack Parker.
Confusing everybody, man. Confusing everybody. All right, it's Oblivion. You can find it on DVD and Blu-ray. On the way, we got another segment with the Screen Team. We're going to review the new movie in theaters called Two Guns. That's next on Today's Talk 930 KW.